Now that Republicans in Congress have voted to pass Donald Trump's big, ugly bill, I think they should be forced to explain to the American people why they did it. I think they should be forced to go hospital by hospital in their districts and explain to the low-income patients in those hospitals why they're now stuck with a $60,000 health care bill because they voted to take away their Medicaid. I think they should be forced to go school by school and explain to the hungry kids in those schools why their free school lunch was just too expensive. They had to vote to cut it. I think they should go to the hungry families who are on food assistance and explain to them why food in the United States of America is just too much of a luxury. And then, I want them to conclude by explaining why they voted in favor of more billionaire tax cuts. Why is that necessary? Why do that and instead of focusing on hardworking people in this country? It is a disgrace that any of these Republicans have power, and they celebrated after doing it. They danced, they smiled, and now they're off in bars in DC having a great time while working people will suffer. That's the Republican Party.
What is he doing, man? This is not what I voted for. Isn't what you voted for? Brother, this is exactly what you voted for. Well, he never said he was gonna do any of this. He said he was gonna do all of this. I mean, it was an open book test, and now you're telling me that you showed up and you didn't even know there was a book? Well, I was focused on his fiscal policy. His fiscal policy? He has bankrupt 6 different businesses. You wouldn't lend $100 to a guy that's gone bankrupt once, and now you're saying that he was the best choice to lead the most complex economy in the world? Those businesses were just bad investments. They were casinos. They're basically the most bankrupt-proof business model on the planet. People just give you money and you don't need to give it back. I mean, I was focused on his stance on immigration. His whole stance on immigration was, I don't like Mexicans, so let's create pop-up internment camps that are alligator infested and sell merch for it. Well, they did immigrate here illegally, and that makes them criminals. The guy who told you that is literally a felon married to an immigrant that got here under false pretenses. At least there'll be no tax on tips if the bill passes. Yeah, you're right. Instead of having to pay taxes on your tips, we're only gonna have millions of Americans losing their health care, massive slashes to food programs and clean energy progress, while adding $4 trillion to the national debt ceiling. And the only people that are getting actual tax breaks are the guys that already have everything, because they won't be satisfied until you have nothing. But thank God you won't have to pay taxes on the tips that you already underreport. Okay, well now you're just fear-mongering. It's not fear-mongering if all I'm doing is telling you the facts and you just so happen to not like it.
All of the companies and individuals who donated to Trump's inauguration campaign have now been released to public record. I listed some of these yesterday, however, there's a lot more to be named. Just when we thought we couldn't get any more upset with Target, here's a bombshell. They donated $1 million to Donald Trump's inauguration this year. In comparison, Walmart only gave $150,000. You know who else gave $1 million to the inauguration? The Heritage Foundation. Some other shocking donations: FedEx, Anheuser-Busch, and the brand Hims each donated $1 million. Pepsi, Live Nation, and Harley-Davidson all donated $500,000. Spotify donated $150,000. And Royal Caribbean donated $100,000. Stay tuned as I'll be posting more of the companies that made donations this year. It's a long list, unfortunately, so stay with me.
Guys, like, I can't still believe that a lot of the Magas actually voted for Trump. Yeah, they actually voted for him for their Medicaid to be cut off, their health insurance. And you guys know that when it comes to medical health in the US, like, it is quite expensive. Even that in my country, Africa, where I hail from, is also expensive, but you can't compare it with that of the US. Like, when it comes to anything that has to do with medical bill, medical system in the US, it is pretty so expensive. And you guys actually voted for Trump for him to cut all of those benefits off. Oh my goodness, like, what do you guys even stand to gain? How can you even vote for him at your own, as in voting against your own interests? Oh my goodness. Well guys, welcome back again to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. So you watch the remaining clip of this video and let me know what you think about them in the comment section.
Happy 4th of July to those of you who celebrate. I will not be celebrating this year. I've come to the realization that Donald Trump is going to kill me. He's going to kill you. He's going to kill a lot of us before this is done. Every day, the future they warned us about comes into focus. It manifests itself a little bit more. It's taking root in our reality. There are concentration camps now. And I'm watching conservatives cheerlead this as if it's some big victory. Instead, it's like the Americans of today are the Germans of the 1930s, with the exception of the fact that we have this game show mentality when it comes to our atrocities. This kind of like, it's disgusting, it's sick, but it's how they do it. It's how Americans do it. We're not just cruel, we have to revel in our cruelty. We have to do YMCA songs as we take money away from poor people. God damn.
3 million Americans will be kicked off of food stamps. 3 million Americans.
There's a lot of things I could and want to say, but as someone who's been on food stamps multiple times in my life, I know that shit's rough. I don't know how else to put it besides that. And now things are only gonna get rougher. And with food banks being stretched thin as it is, I don't know, man. I'm just mad. Fucking bullshit. I don't know what else to do besides try and help. So I'm going to donate $500 to my local food bank. And if you're someone fortunate enough like myself, they could really use it. And my heart truly goes out to anyone affected by this. Okay, bye.
Y'all, don't let them swindle you. These huge Medicaid cuts that are going to kick 17 million people off of their health care are not going to go into effect until probably late 2026 after the midterms. They want this to be the case so that you still vote for your Republican representatives who voted for this bill and senators who voted for this bill before you start to feel the effects of these cuts. They think you're stupid. They think you're stupid for not paying attention, and you're not going to know what's hit you until after it's too late. Don't let them. Prove them wrong. Vote these people out in the midterms if they pass this bill.
Hey, tell me y'all heard the news about the Supreme Court passing the birthright citizenship. So y'all know what that means, right? No more of you immigrants benefiting off our inheritance, off the so-called Black Americans' inheritance. Ain't no more free rides, no more government assistance, no more government checks and all these loans. That shit over with. That's supposed to be given to us. That's supposed to go to us. All these years. And I'm glad this is a beautiful time to be alive. Like I told y'all in the post I made a while ago that went viral. I told y'all Trump for the so-called Black Americans. Y'all didn't believe me. But now y'all about to see. Watch how things finna change now that this birthright citizenship has been passed. And it proves that we have been here before anybody. Because why are we the only ones that the birthright citizenship was granted to? Like I said, a lot of y'all been hating on us so-called Black Americans for the longest. A lot of y'all been prejudiced against us. I guess that's the word. Call us lazy, call us that. Want to know why? Because you benefiting off our inheritance. And that shit over with.
Imagine birthright citizenship be taken off. Imagine you as a child, you were giving birth in the US, like you are happy that you are now American citizen, and waking up one day to a new reality, waking up one day to realize that you are not longer a US citizen by birth. Oh my goodness, guys, like I can't believe that Trump administration is literally doing all of these things. You guys could see that they are now erasing people's data, erasing it and deporting those those people to unknown land. Yeah, a land that they have never been, a land that they have no idea of. And the moment that their data have been cleaned off, it means that automatically they are never from there again. Even if they decide to come back to the US, they will come back as an immigrant, as an asylum seekers. What a word.
To the Latinos that voted for him, you will never, and I repeat, never be white. You will never be accepted as one of them, and you certainly are not exempt from the racism that is this racist ass regime. When that lady put in her post, alligators' lives matter, and she mentioned a number, that number being 65 million. Do you know how many Latinos are in the United States? Approximately 65 million, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Approximately 60 plus million people. So guess what? They weren't just talking about the illegal immigrants, because data actually says that there are 10 to about 12 illegal, undocumented folks in the United States. They're talking about you. They're talking about people like us, because we are not exempt from the racism that is rooted in what these people believe in, and frankly, the foundation of this country that was built on the stealing of land from indigenous people by immigrants that came here from Europe. But when you think that you are better than an immigrant because your family came here the right way, remember that this land was actually stolen from day one. So when you think that you are better because you're second generation or third generation because you've been an American for a longer amount of time, I hope that you never have to experience a time where you have to flee a country for your own safety or that of your family. So when you think that you are somehow not going to be affected by any of this, when you think that you don't have to care, what happens if you are next? What happens if it's someone that you personally know? And I know already, because we've seen it. We've seen the clips of people that supported him, diehard supporters that are now crying on the news because their family members are getting deported and they thought that they would never be impacted. You see, in this country, so many people lack empathy. They are unwilling or somehow unable to think beyond themselves, and then we run into these situations. Wake up. The proximity to whiteness isn't serving you, and it's not serving the community. You have to recognize what is happening, because ultimately, they're not just going after criminals. And all of this is connected to so many things that impact our community and frankly are holding us back, like anti-blackness and colorism and internalized racism. And if you think that these are woke words, look them up and you will realize what exists, what has existed in our community for a very long time. And I say all of this because there are so many people that have fallen to the false prophets of the world, and I need us as a community to come together and wake up. So if you're wanting more of this type of content, follow for more, because we need to have this conversation.
The only people still listening to the rules are you. I'm gonna repeat that. The only people still listening to the rules are you. Maybe if I put it that way, people will realize what they gotta do.
Why would I care about Medicaid? I have private insurance. Well, when uninsured people go to the hospital, they still get treated, especially if it's an emergency. And if they can't pay for those treatments, the hospital has to. So if you imagine 20% of the services that a hospital is offering are not being paid for, they have to raise prices for everyone else to cover that 20%. So then my insurance gets charged more, and then they pass it off to me, so my prices go up too. Yeah, exactly. Sign this? Oh. Wait, but the 20% has to be paid no matter what. So either it comes out of higher insurance rates, or it comes out of Medicaid, which is paid from my taxes. I mean, I'm paying the same amount either way, right? Well, not quite. Because when people don't have Medicaid, the pool gets even bigger, which means that you pay more to make up for that. That doesn't make any sense. You said that hospitals have to cover lost income, not that their costs actually go up. Well, Medicaid gives people insurance, which is different than people not having insurance at all. Well, yeah, duh. Yeah, fair. What I meant is that when people have insurance, they're more likely to get preventative care. When they don't, they're probably waiting until it's an emergency. But emergency rooms are already astronomically more expensive to operate than primary care. And on top of that, people are now coming in with more complicated problems that require more expensive services, which cost hospitals even more money, so then the pool gets bigger. And then on top of that, you have to think about what happens when hospitals start closing. I have to drive further to get medical care. Maybe, but I mean, think about this. Even if you're in a nice area, some hospitals, especially in rural areas, have a higher percentage of patients that use Medicaid. And if they're not getting paid from Medicaid, they probably can't stay open. Then those hospitals probably shouldn't be open. If they need a government handout to be profitable, well, it's not a handout. Those hospitals are doing the exact same services as other hospitals. It's just due to who their patients are, the insurance that's reimbursing them is Medicaid. If they close, that means that there's more people in my emergency room the next time I fall off a ladder? A ladder did that to you? Oh, yeah, well, I fell on a pipe. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's everyone's emergency room. The thing is that those hospitals are competition. Hospitals want to make money too, and if they don't have competition, they're going to raise their prices. So even though I have private insurance, kicking people off Medicaid means that you're doing work that you're not being compensated for. So you need to raise your prices, which means passing that on to my insurance company, who then passes it on to me, which means I have less money. It also means that I drive further and wait longer for probably more rushed medical care. Yeah, okay. And you just had to tell me about this before you could sew me back up? Right, yeah, so your insurance is saying that they are not going to cover what they consider an optional cosmetic operation? Oh. Yeah, I can make that work. Do you think they'd at least let you close this up?
Guys, imagine you waking up to a new reality. Imagine you waking up to a reality that you never thought that it was going to be like that. Yeah, imagine a US citizen, those, because I have seen a lot of people who are American citizen by birth, and when they ask them, they will say, "Oh, I'm American citizen." They will not even put their own country of origin as first. They are just going to say, "Oh, I'm from America." And waking up to a new reality that your citizenship have been wiped out by Trump administration. Because I saw this particular video yesterday from my FYP. This guy was talking about that Trump wants to do a new census. Yeah, that he want to do it again, and because of those people that he has deported and those American citizens, that he want to redo it and count those people out so that he can minus them and know the number of people that are being left in the US, that is origin of America. Guys, like, I can't believe that Trump administration is doing all of these things. Like, I do not really know what the immigrant has done to him. I don't know. Like, he really focuses on the immigrants. I know that he is trying to make America great again because the immigrants, somehow they have contributed positively to American growth. Yeah, they have contributed positively, because most of the jobs that the US citizens cannot do, these are the people that are doing those jobs. Yeah, they are the people that are doing those jobs that American citizens cannot do. And right now that he has deported a lot of them, oh my god. Like, seriously guys, a lot of things has really happened in these few months that Trump has been in the office. A lot of things, and so many things are also going to happen. I don't know if you guys saw that video of alligator tent that Trump is building for the immigrants. Oh my goodness. I saw that. Should I call it a a in fact, I don't know what to call that house. It looks like a warehouse. Yeah, and a lot of reactors reacted to it. Some even said that there is no ventilation, there's no AC, there is no, in fact, that place is just like a prison mall. And I was I was speaking to myself, is he doing all this thing because of the immigrant? Like, what really have the immigrants done? Yeah, even though most of the immigrants are not 100%. I believe that some of them has contributed positively to American growth. Oh my goodness, this is what you guys voted for. Even those affected deportees, they actually voted for Trump. They supported him wholeheartedly. Yeah, they supported him. And this is what they are now facing. This is their new phase. This is their new reality after voting him. Well, the deal has been done. So at this moment, nothing can be done. The only thing is just going to wait for 4 years to complete. Yeah, that is just it. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what are your thoughts. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section.